Good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's now 7 o'clock. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We want to say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi, get the details on that first alert forecast, which is going to be another unseasonably warm day.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it got up to 86 yesterday.
Unbelievable.
My goodness.
Like, psh.
You know, because your car reading is always, I feel like it's off from like what reality is.
Right.
And it said like 86, and I was like, no way. But
I mean,
maybe
sometimes
right.
it's,
you never know.
spot
It on the
little-
nose.
Little scientific things, see how many times it's accurate now. You
You report back on it.
Let me know.
Let us know each day what your car says. All right, yeah, it is definitely a warm one out there already this morning. So much milder. I didn't need the jacket this morning coming into work, and you probably won't either. We have the temperatures that are very warm for this time of year. Normally, you know, we are seeing highs close to like, what, 61 on average, so we're close to those numbers to start off this morning. All right, we have a couple of spots in the 40s. That would be anywhere from Tolland all the way down through about Norwich. So we have clear skies to start off. It's 53. The winds are calm. In New Haven, we're going to be heading into, yet again, highs in the 80s. Look at that. We're going to get up to about 80 in Washington, Litchfield, 80 degrees. Suffield, about 84 degrees. So, yeah, 20 degrees above average. Just insane. So it's one of those days. Enjoy the lovely weather while you can, because eventually we will be cooling down this week. But Wallingford, you get to enjoy a high of 80 degrees, pretty close to that in Trumbull. So above average warmth is here right now, but we have some changes late week with our temperatures. We'll talk about if there's any rain part of the mix as well coming up a little bit later. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on the Wax. If you're just joining us, we do appreciate that, but I want to get you started with your drive times and speeds. We are dealing with a first alert in Farmington crash that's slowing things down, 84 eastbound, so Waterbury to Hartford, 40-minute ride time there due to that incident. New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, we're past that 2-hour ride now, 95 southbound, so typical congestion down through Fairfield County along the Parkway as well. But let's get you back to those details here of that first alert once again in Farmington, 84 eastbound between exits 37 and 39. The right lane there is closed, so we are seeing some slowdowns through the area. You can see as traffic is trying to merge from that right-hand lane into the center and left-hand lanes. Things are definitely slow going, which is what you want to see as you're passing any active scene here with emergency crews on site. You want to make sure that you are slowing down and moving over. Once again, it is the law here in the state of Connecticut. Keep those crews safe as they are doing their job to clean this all up. But DOT reporting this is involving multiple vehicles, so give yourself some extra travel time to get through this safely and slowly. Rest of the state looking very good. Live look outside in Waterbury, Middletown, and here in Meriden. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Now to Berlin, where we continue to monitor the brush fire there. Crews have been battling those flames on Lamentation Mountain since Monday evening, and the fire is still active.
I mean, get a load of this aerial shot here of the flames. It's sent to us by a viewer. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones is just off the Berlin Turnpike this morning. Marcy, is there any safety threat that folks need to know about?
Good morning. Thankfully, crews assure us that there is no reason for folks to panic, even though, like you mentioned, those images coming through here have been pretty intense. They say they are confident this is far enough away from any residents, which is a huge relief. According to the Berlin Fire Department, calls started coming in about the fire just after 5 Monday evening. An initial effort was made to contain the estimated 10 to 15 acres impacted before sunset. Additional resources were called in from Newington, Wethersfield, Rocky Hill, Cromwell, Meriden, and a few other towns. Right now, the main challenge crews are facing is the steep and rocky terrain, making logistics difficult to navigate. The fire is west of Seagreen Drive and Bannon Lane and moving northeast at a slow pace. There's currently no need to evacuate, with no plans to enact any evacuation in the future. Crews remain confident this is far away from any residential areas.
It's a good distance for us, and the wind's playing in our favor with that. There's also adequate water supply in that area, so if the fire did get closer, there'd be no issue.
Now that the sun is up a little bit more, you can see that smoke more clearly. You every once in a while get a little whiff of that charred wood smell down here, but thankfully visibility is not affected on the road at all. There's a current no-fly zone in order. Operations will resume at 9, and then an hour after that at 10, we're expected to get an update. In Berlin, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we have some video we want to show you here. Take a good look at this. Thieves caught on camera breaking into cars in Suffield.
And police are now warning people to lock their doors, don't leave your valuables behind. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has everything you need to know from police this morning.
Kaylin and Tracy, it's definitely concerning. Suffield Police Department say that in the last week there's been at least 12 break-ins into cars in this area, and they say that about half of those took place in just one night from Sunday into Monday morning. Take a look at this surveillance video that Suffield Police Department gave to us. You can see that there are two people trying to get into a car before bolting to a getaway car. Captain Robert Palmer with the Suffield Police Department says lately if car doors are locked, but thieves see something they want, they are smashing the windows to get inside. Neighbors say this is happening all too often within town. Suffield resident Laura Maratello says last week she was walking her dog outside and saw a smashed car with its belongings on the road.
We think it was somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. Had been going from car to car, trying to open up the car doors.
Suffield police are warning residents to lock the doors, take any valuables out of the car, and make sure their key fob and car keys are with them as well. We're working to find out if this is a group of thieves working together and exactly where in town people are seeing these break-ins. Now, if you can see behind us here, there's actually a sign in front of the police department. Please lock your car doors. A clear message to residents in this town to make sure that they do so to eliminate the chances of any car break-ins where they live. Now, Captain Palmer tells me no arrests have been made at this point. However, they are working to do so. They know that there are some similar problems in surrounding Connecticut towns as well as over in Massachusetts. Of course, if your car is broken into, give police a call immediately. In Suffield, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And fire crews have been busy in the last 24 hours battling all those brush fires around our state in Vernon, Hartford, and Thompson, to name a few places.
Yeah, we certainly need the rain right now. Take a look at the fire near Reservoir Road in Vernon yesterday. Fire investigators say it spread about 9 acres, but fortunately the flames did not damage any homes. All right, in Burlington we head now, where police have identified the 2 people who died in a crash earlier this month. They say Tiffany Cormier and Russell Bunn from Bristol crashed into a tree on Johnny Cake Mountain Road when their car started going in flames. Investigators are trying to figure out why they veered off the road. If you know anything about this crash, call police.
Well, this morning, a man wanted in Massachusetts is being extradited there after police say he was discovered hiding out in our state for months. We're told 40-year-old Stephen Lebrecht was camping out in Woodstock. Here are some photos of his hideout. U.S. Marshals tracked him down. He was wanted for having child pornography.
Well, today, former President Donald Trump is holding a roundtable near Miami before heading back to North Carolina for a rally.
And meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris is kicking off another media blitz after campaigning with former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney in the blue wall states of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Well, the vice presidential candidates are also on the campaign trail. J.D. Vance will target Latino voters in Arizona, while Tim Walz heads to Wisconsin with former President Barack Obama to get the word out to early voters.
And the first day of early voting in our state has wrapped. It was historic, right? We're learning thousands of people across our state cast their ballots in person for the first time yesterday for that early voting. And here's a look at some of the voters getting a head start in Meriden.
Yeah, if you want to go, you have a long time to do it, 2 weeks. Voting opens again this morning at 10. Early voting is open every day, including weekends, until November 3rd. You can find out the location for your town's early voting location on our website or the WFSB app.
Well, vandals hit the Trump store in Vernon, and they caused a lot of damage. They spray painted graffiti all over the front of the business, as you can see here, including some derogatory words and pictures. The business owner believes that the same 2 suspects were actually inside the store on Sunday, so police are hoping to use surveillance video to track them down.
State police say they've arrested another extreme speeder, this time on I-91 in Rocky Hill. Officers clocked Daquan Patterson Green going 120 miles an hour Friday night. Police say he was going so fast they couldn't safely catch up to him, and that he later turned himself in when he discovered there was a warrant out for his arrest.
Right now, we're learning more details about what exactly happened during a gas station standoff in Rocky Hill on Sunday. Louis Rolone is accused of hitting a woman in the parking lot of the Shell station on the Silas Deane Highway, then barricading himself in the bathroom for hours, even climbing into the ceiling. Police say he's homeless and has lived in Connecticut for his whole life.
All right, Roger, Suzanne in here checking in from the first alert desk, and we're tracking a major developing story right now. This morning, state investigators have ruled that an Orange police officer was not justified when he pulled the trigger and opened fire on a shoplifting suspect, and now he could lose his job. Take a look at your screen right now. This is actually dash camera video from that incident. It shows police trying to stop the suspects at the Burlington Coat Factory in Orange last year. Now, at one point, an officer got into the suspect's vehicle and actually tried to grab the keys. Now, the driver, as you can see then, speeds away with the officer still in that car. And that's when officers say that another officer, Eric Restaino, opened fire on that vehicle. Now, no one was injured. That's the good news. And police were able to eventually stop the suspects. But the Office of the Inspector General ruled that the shooting was, quote, reckless, and concluded that if the driver had been shot, it would have caused them to lose control of their car and potentially hurt innocent people. They recommend that Officer Restaino be decertified as a police officer. Live at the First Alert Desk, I'm Roger Suzanne in Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Jill, I'll send it over to you.
All right, it is 7:12 this morning. I can see that Scott left me a present. The 5:55 bell is here. All right, I'm not going to ring it, okay? I just will leave it for that special time. It is, this time of year, we should see highs in the low 60s, lows around 40. We're starting off at least 10 degrees above average most places. So 50s, a few spots in the mid 40s. We have bright conditions out there. Look at that sun just now poking up over the horizon in Old Saybrook there. So if you're headed out and you plan on doing some early voting today, the weather's going to be incredible. Roll down the windows, or I guess press the button, that you can tell how old I am when I say roll down the windows. That was back in the day. All right, 2 o'clock, we're going to be inland, 80 degrees, 77 across the hills, 74 along the shoreline. Just beautiful weather. But eventually we'll be cooling down this week. We'll have more on that part of the forecast coming up in about 5 minutes.